Please welcome the President and Chief Executive Officer of Natra Farm, Mr. Rudy Angelo P. Runes.
Magandang araw. Welcome to our home. Things have changed drastically, brought about by the pandemic. These conditions are very real, and these conditions must be addressed to safely bridge the gap separating patients and the doctors. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Find Your Doctor and the Natra Farm Health Information Program.
The new normal must have changed the doctor's daily activities, including the clinic schedule. There must be a way for patients to find their doctors. Find Your Doctor is a nationwide multi-specialty listing of doctors, which provides patients up-to-date clinic schedules inside and outside the hospital. Now, let's make consultation possible at the safety and comfort of your homes. Welcome to Natra Farm HIP. It's so easy to sign up. You can manage your clinic schedules personally. Allows you to be flexible as you can change your clinic schedules depending on what is suitable for you. Your safety is a priority. COVID symptoms pre-screening is included, and other possible chief complaints that helps you assess your patient. The SMS function of Natra Farm HIP alerts patients of the status of their appointment. It also helps you notify patients of their upcoming teleconsultation with you. Convenient payment system, cashless and online payment option, including uploading your QR code and more payment options. Patient's proof of payment may be uploaded for easy tracking. You can monitor your patient's appointment in all your clinics. Are you ready to see your patient? Let's do the video call consultation in Natra Farm HIP platform. See your patients on screen and communicate with them real time. Get easy access to patients' medical information anytime, anywhere, using the electronic medical records feature. Patient's medical record, vitals, medical notes where you can record patient's SOAP, laboratory and imaging results, prescription data. Consultation is usually concluded with a prescription. Natra Farm HIP has electronic prescription capability and more. Should you need a quick drug reference, a link is provided for you for easy access. To help you manage your clinic, give your medical secretary a selected function access to your account. All records are private and confidential. Data is secure. Natra Farm HIP is a free service provided to help you connect with your patients. Your Natra Farm representative will assist you as you navigate the Natra Farm HIP. On top of that, a 24/7 technical assistance is also available for you. Natra Farm HIP's presence in different social media platforms can help your patients search and connect with you. Be safe, be connected, be part of the Natra Farm HIP.
A pleasant evening to everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. It's the 6th webinar of the Philippine Pediatric Society North Central Mindanao chapter. To start our activity, let us all put ourselves in the presence of God as we invoke Him to guide us for this evening's activity and for all our work as pediatricians.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Good evening once again to everyone. I am Dr. Cindy Canseco-Liego, and I'm your host for tonight's webinar. As you may have noticed, this evening's webinar is meant to be different from the 5 other webinars that we've had so far. It will not only feed us with knowledge for our minds, but also promote mental health for all of us, especially during the time of the pandemic where we experience a lot of stress and anxiety. So we'll actually do away with the usual formalities of the webinar, like the introductory remarks and all that. So without further ado, let me now introduce to you our speaker for tonight. So she is a graduate of her Doctor of Medicine from the UE, or the University of the East, um, Ramon Magsaysay Memorial Medical Center. She did her pediatric residency training in San Juan Medical Center in Metro Manila and also did multiple yoga trainings such as the 200-hour teacher training in America Yoga School, Birthlight Perinatal Yoga, and the Rainbow Kids Yoga and Kids Yoga Australia. She is a pediatrician practicing at Maria Reina Hospital and a faculty member of Xavier University, Dr. Josepe Rizal School of Medicine. So being the multifaceted person that she is also a breastfeeding advocate, counselor, and trainer. She is a published storybook author with a kids yoga book entitled Today Tala's Adventure Begins, and she is the founder of Bundle of Joy Philippines breastfeeding course for parents. So friends and colleagues, help me welcome our speaker for today, Dr. Chris Maria Raissa Paje-Bayawa. Hi,
Good
Rai.
evening. Hi, Doc
Are you
Cindy.
excited
Good
to do the
evening.
webinar tonight?
Yes, super
It's quite
excited.
different. Okay. I
Thank you
meant to
so
ask
much for your
you.
introduction. Makakul ba,
That was a
maka-pressure, but I'm really happy to be
pressure
here.
ba? Don't be
Oo.
pressured. This is all about detoxifying from stress, diba? So we should be the first ones to relax tonight, right? So
Yes,
anyway, I
definitely.
meant to ask you, Rai, how did you manage to fit your yoga trainings into our lives as medical students and resident trainees? How did you manage to fit all of that other training in yoga?
Actually, Doc Cindy, I took my first yoga class when I was still a med student. And it was really very interesting for me and very challenging in first class na ako. So after a few years, I tried it out again. During the med school, there wasn't really much time to do it. And especially during the pediatric training, yung residency,
Yeah,
di
I
ba?
can
There
imagine.
wasn't really,
Yeah.
there wasn't really much time to focus on it. But after I finished my residency training, di ba, we have a little bit of time to think about what we want to do next and all that. So part of what I did was really do a regular yoga practice. And because of that, it really changed my life from um, I was a very, very big person before. So, times two siguro sa akong weight right now. And then, I was very unhealthy in the sense I wasn't eating the right things. I was having a lot of backache, ankle pain, knee pain. Basta kung ano, unsa-unsa na gani din ng mga aches and pains. And so I started doing yoga, and then I really felt the benefits of it in terms of my physical well-being. So I thought, I think I'd like to do this regularly and also share it with my patients. That's why my first training into yoga was actually the kids yoga teacher training. So before I became
Oh,
an
that's
adult yoga
nice.
teacher, the
Mm.
first was really a kids yoga teacher training. So there was a big battle in my brain at that point in my life, which one to pursue, because I had a pending application fellowship for Hima Onco dapat in a big hospital uh, in Manila. And then there was this opportunity to do the kids yoga teacher training, and the teacher will only be here for that particular period of time. So I was thinking, I want to do this. So what I did was I took the teacher training for kids yoga, and then in love ako sa yoga. And so I decided to pursue more of it, and I took the other training courses for perinatal yoga, and then eventually the 200-hour teacher training, so that I could really teach a wider variety of audience, in particular mga adults also and the pregnant women. So that's my story.
So that's a great story. It was really part of your pursuit of health in general, not only for yourself, but also for your patients. So that's great. So I hope we get a little bit of the learnings that you got and the value that you see in yoga tonight. No, but aside from that, I also wanted to ask you about your other pursuits because I know that you're a breastfeeding advocate and you're very much active in all of those breastfeeding week breastfeeding month activities at Maria Reina and in Cagayan de Oro City. And in particular, you founded Bundle of Joy. Can you tell us more about it? Bundle of Joy Philippines?
Yes, I'd love to talk about it, Doc Cindy. Thank you for this opportunity. But before that, I'd like to thank Jessa because without Jessa's guidance, leading, and inspiration, and how she has helped me breastfeed my two children, I wouldn't be this kind of breastfeeding advocate that I am right now. So Jess, if you're watching, if you're here right now, pasington taka karon, but it's really my labor of love for you. So this Bundle of Joy PH was initially a class for parents. Dinhi sa among balay, so we just invited a few mothers. So we started with just around 4 couples, pregnant couples at that time back in 2017. And then we just really taught them breathing exercises, some prenatal yoga exercises, and what to expect when the baby comes and how to breastfeed. No? So initial, parang prenatal education siya talaga. And then parang word got around, one mommy told another, and then parang the demand just came about. So eventually it became a bigger event. We moved to our previous studio and then eventually to a bigger venue. So parang restaurant na yon. Kasi we couldn't fit anymore. The biggest crowd that we had were 30 couples. So more or less 60 people ang nag-attend. And then the pandemic happened. So when the pandemic happened, there was this great burden in our hearts ng husband ko na we really want to bring this online because we don't want to stop teaching parents about breastfeeding, about taking care of their babies. So we brought the course online, and now this Bundle of Joy PH breastfeeding online course is a self-paced, per-demand course that parents can watch in the leisure of their own homes, in their own time. They just have to enroll.
Wow, that would be great for our pregnant moms, no? Especially if they do intend to breastfeed their kids. So they'd be able to take care of their bodies while pregnant and at the same time psychologically prepare for breastfeeding and the demands of breastfeeding. So I think it's
yes,
a great
the demand.
pursuit because you're able to, yeah, you're able to combine your knowledge as a pediatrician and as a yoga instructor and as a breastfeeding advocate all into one package. So I think that's a great pursuit. But I think that also leads to a lot of stress somehow. I can imagine that would be a very stressful combination, being multifaceted and having multiple roles. So, which brings us to today's webinar. We're supposed to stretch out the stress. So I guess we can start with a webinar and so that we will learn how to deal with the stress in our lives, with our multiple roles in our work and at home with yoga. Okay, so without further ado, you can take the floor now, Dr. Bayawa.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. So I'll share my screen now. Ayan. So good evening, everyone. I hope you are well today. Before I proceed, I'd like to just double check the audio. Can I be heard? Maybe Doc Cindy can give me feedback in terms of my audio.
Good.
Okay ba?
Your audio is good, right? Yes.
Thank you so much. All right. Again, good evening, my dear pediatricians. I praise God for this opportunity to share yoga with you again, but this time on an online platform. Galing-galing natin. When Dr. Reese called to ask if I could talk about yoga again for our society, I was really excited because I think this is the least I can do for now for all of you, my dear colleagues. I truly wish I could do more, but my days are jam-packed with taking care of our children and online teaching. So I'm very grateful that through this webinar, I can spend some time with you again tonight. Thank you, Doc Baby, Dr. Reese, and Doc Cindy, and the entire committee for this opportunity to share a few yoga-based exercises that hopefully will alleviate the stress that you, our modern day heroes, are experiencing. You can invite your family members right now to join you. And if you can, take a selfie or a groupie, ingon si Doc Baby or si Doc Therese, no? And you can use hashtag PPS NCM Yoga. And if you can, please tag me on Facebook also if you will post. Just for fun lang po and to encourage other doctors to get moving too despite this pandemic. Ayan. So, I'd like to introduce myself again. I'm Raissa. You can call me Raissa. My husband and I are both yoga instructors and we're blessed to have 2 children. We all practice yoga in one way or another. And many people wonder why I became a yoga teacher. And I answered that with Doc Cindy earlier. I simply want to share with other people what yoga has brought into my life. So I have no conflicts of interest to disclose. And I want our session this evening to be true to its title, to make this really stress relieving for you, our modern day heroes. So here are my objectives. To briefly present the benefits of yoga, and since it's an indoor activity, maybe it will really have a special relevance and application at this time of pandemic. To provide tips to start and maintain an exercise regimen. And for some of you who have an aversion towards the word exercise, let's call it a movement practice. Ayan, para mas gentle. It's something we can do at home, and especially since gyms or dance studios are closed right now, we can do this just inside the house. And third, to demonstrate a few simple exercises that can be done regularly without needing a yoga mat, and you don't even have to change into your gym clothes. And hopefully, this will target body parts that have been points of discomfort during this pandemic. I really hope that you will find these exercises useful in your daily lives. So what is yoga? Yoga came from the Sanskrit word yuj, literally to yoke, and to unite the mind, body, and spirit. A simple definition is that it's a practice that connects the intent of the mind to the movement or stillness of the body through our breath. For many, it's a life, it's a path to self-discovery, a way of life. And also, in most cases, it's one of those things we can do to take care of ourselves. Maybe it's something that we all need to do right now as we face COVID-19. There are many different kinds and schools of yoga, and finding what kind to practice would depend on what you need. And now, because of the lockdown, a lot of yoga studios and yoga teachers are actually having virtual classes. So my dear colleagues, maybe you'd like to check out some online classes if you want to really engage in a regular yoga practice. For me, I mainly practice foundations, vinyasa, and restoratives. So foundations teach about alignment, strength building, and breath work. And this is the best type of yoga for those who do not have any previous experience or have not exercised before. We also have prenatal yoga for pregnant women, postnatal recovery yoga, and babies and husbands are welcome to attend this. And also kids yoga. For the kids yoga, pwede na rin po ito sa mga adults who are still kids at heart. And actually, this can be done in schools, and it's a good option right now for indoor PE as part of the distance learning for our students. I am actually teaching kids yoga weekly for a private school, and I find it fun. Naturally po, napapa-workout din ako. And yoga can also be a form of therapy for children with special needs. Let me just share that 7 years ago, I was teaching children with Down syndrome when I was still in Manila. And lo and behold, now I have my dear Kaya, who is 1 year and 9 months, and we are doing tidbits of yoga as well. We also have restorative yoga, and this is actually one of my most favorites. Poses are done supported with big pillows called bolsters. And we usually don't sweat here, but it feels really, really good for the body. So kaya po ako nagpa-prepare sa inyo ng 2 pillow. Sana meron kayo. Because later, I'll be sharing some of these poses as well. There is a growing number of research on the effects of yoga on the general physical health, particularly sa cardiovascular and musculoskeletal system. And there are also a lot of studies that describe yoga as an adjunct therapy for depression, anxiety, and some neuropsychiatric disorders. Last year, during our postgrad, I presented some of these studies, particularly the effects of yoga on the mental health of adults who may not necessarily have any clinical disorder but are simply subjected to life's challenges and stresses. Hashtag again, adulting. So, needless to say, all of us are facing one great big challenge right now, this pandemic, the quarantine and the lockdown, and the new normal and the for now normal does not really feel normal for some of us. And so to encourage you, I'd like to share again the beneficial effects of yoga. It uplifts the mood. It can be a stress buster. It promotes positivity, calmness of the mind. It reduces negative emotions and increases happiness. It brings emotional strength and confidence, improves concentration and memory. Gusto natin tong lahat. Quick reaction time, drives focus, and can train us to be mentally tough. Something we all need right now, no? Being mentally tough. And I know I really need this as a mom with so many things to do. And probably I need it as much as I need clean water and alcohol and even good internet connection. In my years of practicing and teaching yoga, one of the most common questions that people ask, and that frankly I still find hard to answer even up to now, is how can yoga be relaxing when it's so difficult to hold a pose for a long time? It's so boring. I get sleepy doing yoga. It's so hard because I'm not flexible. The answer mainly lies in the deep physiologic relaxation that controlled breathing can bring. It's a kind of relaxation that takes place on a neurobiological level. The mind and body practice of yoga shifts us from a state of excitement and tension, which is what we feel when we do planks, yoga bicycles, and challenging yoga poses. Baka ma-experience natin ito mamaya, no? And then to a state of calm, deep rest, and relaxation when we do the breathing exercises and the supported poses, which we will also do in a little while. Now let's look at the effects of yoga as a physical or active movement practice. We know that exercise has a positive impact on our health, di ba? We doctors even prescribe exercise as part of lifestyle modification. I read a study that concluded that patients are around 80% more likely to do physical activities if their doctors actually write them down on a prescription pad. But of course, this is not applicable for our very young patients. Siguro sa mga preteens and adolescents natin, pwede pa. But definitely, it's something we can prescribe to our family and to each other. Okay? Now let's look at the health benefits of yoga and exercise in general. But I'll just flash it here. I will not discuss one by one because alam na natin yan. Sabi nga ni Yun Bin, ayan, favorite ni Dr. Reese, no? You already know that. So my next objective is actually to share with you how to start and maintain this exercise regimen that we will do this evening. Given that doctors are often toxic, busy, and frankly, almost always exhausted, especially po ngayon. And hopefully this will be easy to remember since we doctors just love the acronyms and mnemonics. We want to share this with you. To start, we do the FIT principle, and to maintain, we just have to move more. So where to start, no? FITT. We think about the frequency, how often to exercise. Maybe you can do twice a week lang muna. And then eventually you have to decide also the intensity. And with regards to intensity, we mean that how hard rather you're going to work during your exercise session. It's important to make sure that you're working at a pace that is challenging enough to help you achieve your goals, but not so hard that it's going to make you feel dizzy or nauseous or like you might die, parang kamat na because kapoy kaayo. But for most of us, it's really best to start slow, at a low intensity, then gradually increase. And again, yoga is a good place to start. So how do we figure out the intensity? Remember po yung talk test. As a rule of thumb, a person doing moderate intensity aerobic activity can still talk, but not sing during the activity. But if you have a lot of time to talk and make chika-chika, then that means it could be a low intensity activity for you. Then you have to set the time, how long you're going to work out for this particular exercise session. For those of you who are doing this for the first time, it's best to take it easy, maybe 20 to 30 minutes per session lang muna. And if you don't have 20 to 30 minutes a day, kasi sino ba sa atin na may ganung break, no? You can span your workouts during the course of the day. For example, 10 minutes in the morning, then 5 at noon, then another 5 minutes when you come home in the evening. That can also work. And then we have to set the type of exercise that you will do. Most of us are limited to indoor activities right now, but we have to remember that our bodies are very, very smart, di ba? When we start exercising, for example, we start running, there is rapid weight loss in the beginning, and then our body gets used to it. It adapts to the exercise we're doing. Then eventually we stop losing weight, we get bored, we get demotivated, and that's where the FITT comes in. So you can play around these factors, maybe try yoga once a week plus dancing once a week, or 15 minutes of yoga, then 15 minutes of dancing. So whichever works for you, that will be the best. Now we go to our maintenance. Now, how do we maintain this fitness regimen? So M stands for marking your calendar. It seems that there's just not enough time in a day to finish everything and still find time to work out, diba? Or maybe now, because of the quarantine, some of us actually have extra time. But the reality is, if you keep on trying to fit your workout into your schedule, chances are you'll never be able to squeeze it in. What worked for us was marking our calendars, like what you did for tonight, my dear doctors. You knew that we are going to have a yoga class this evening, and some of you really logged in early. Sorry for the technical difficulties. And because you marked your calendar, and so now you're here. Next is observe what the exercise will do for your body. The first thing that you will notice actually when you start exercising or when you do yoga is an increase in your energy level. It doesn't sound right, no? Parang counterintuitive. How can you have more energy when you spend a lot of energy actually exercising? But really, exercise can boost your energy by releasing endorphins, helping with the sleep. It manages the stress and trains the heart to work more efficiently, getting more oxygen to the brain and other organs. But again, you already know that. So we won't discuss that in too much detail. Next is R, we release and restore. Too much rigorous exercise, 7 days a week, is also not good for us. We also need to let our bodies recover. So watch out for the restorative poses that I will teach in a bit. It's something that I hope you will find really, really useful in every day as you come home from work and try to recover from your day. And letter E is we enjoy our workouts and its benefit. No, we focus initially on building strength and function first. Our long-term goal is to be able to walk and maybe still dance in our senior years. No, gusto ko ganun pa rin ako pag senior na ako. And short-term goal, of course, we want to get through this pandemic without getting sick. And of course, exercise has a big impact, positive impact on that. But what is movement without breath work? So breathing exercises are so foundational in the practice of yoga, and it's the first thing I will teach later. It balances the function of the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Breathing being the only autonomic function that can be voluntarily controlled, this works on the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible, if you remember, of course, for the rest and digest and the calm and connection. Okay, so malapit na po talaga. Enough of me talking. Let's start moving. So get ready na po kayo dun sa dalawang pillows and your sturdy chair. How I wish I could see you all, no? Parang yung sa Lux Hotel last year na nakikita ko kayo. Parang masasarap magtulog pag nakikita yung audience. But I will just trust that behind my screen, you are doing the exercises that I've prepared for tonight. I divided our exercise into 4 parts so that there's something for everybody tonight. If you are pregnant, let's do only the breathing exercises, or if you have special medical conditions, please be very mindful, hold back. We don't want any aches and pains during the course of our practice. First, we'll have breathing exercises, which a friend actually requested for, asking me how to breathe properly while wearing a mask daw po. She finds it hard to breathe while wearing one. And for me, I think we just have to deal with it by being mindful of how we breathe, and very similar, it's going to be very similar to how I teach the breathing exercises to pregnant women. Kasi di ba usually in the third trimester parang mahirap nang huminga. Okay? And then there will be feel-good stretches for the two main types of stress that this pandemic has brought about for our doctors. Number one, for those who feel soreness from wearing their PPEs in their clinics and during hospital rounds. And I've seen some photos of our doctors wearing yung parang mabigat na helmet that serves as the face shield, no? And also, number two, for those who are fatigued by sitting in front of the screen all the time, either because of telemedicine or attending so many webinars, we will just, for tonight, we will just use a chair. So please grab one if you are not already sitting on one. And then for this next one, ako sana mapangiti din kayo. Napangiti ako bigla. Parang nakita lang yung crush natin nung high school, no? We simply want to do something that will make our hearts beat faster. Yan naman. Since I cannot bring your crush to your homes, I will just teach some yoga-based exercises that will bring the heart rate up. And this will be for those of you who would like to start an easy fitness regimen at home. And then, towards the end, I will share some restorative yoga poses that will hopefully help us rest and sleep better. And for this, you will need the 2 pillows that we've asked you to prepare. Ayan. And since teaching online movement class is very, very challenging from a technical perspective, ideally there will be 2 cameras plus a lapel mic, which I don't have. My husband and I made this yoga video for all of us to follow tonight. And it's also our labor of love for all of you, so that you can play it anytime you like. If, for example, you will commit to a weekly exercise regimen, you can just play the video that we've prepared over and over again until parang sawa na kayo sa mukha kong magturo, and you will look for another teacher na. Okay, so I hope that you will enjoy this video that we prepared for you tonight. PJ, let's play the video, and I will still be here later.
Neck stretches are a good way to release some tension on the nape, upper back, and the shoulders, especially after a long day of wearing our PPEs. To begin the neck stretches, we're going to bring our arms out to the sides, lift up on the inhale. Now, as you exhale, we're going to bring the right hand down, palm facing down, and then the left hand goes over the top of the head to touch the other ear. Take a big breath here, inhale. As you exhale, gently pull the head down so that you're stretching the right side of the neck. And if it feels good for you, you try to bring that right hand down. Inhale here and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to do it on the other side. To release, bring both arms up. Inhale. As you exhale, left hand goes down, palm facing down. Right hand reaches over the opposite ear and pull that head gently down. Bring the left hand down if that feels good for you. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Release, bring both hands up. As you exhale, bring both hands down. The second part, we're going to place our thumbs under the chin, like so. Take a big breath in, inhale. As you exhale, you're going to try to push your chin down, and your thumbs will resist. And you feel a bit of a stretch on the nape. All right, here we go. Inhale and exhale. Next, interlace the fingers behind the head. Again, you won't see much movement here, but there's opposing action. Push your head back towards your hands as you push your hands forward towards your head. Okay? And you can even squeeze your elbows in towards the center if you like. Inhale here and exhale. Last breath here. Inhale and exhale. Bring the hands down. Let's do some neck rotation. From the center, breathe in. As you exhale, okay, you can turn and rotate your neck from the right to the left. And come back to center. Opposite direction this time. Inhale. As you exhale, turn towards the opposite direction. Oops. There you go. And release. Now let's do some seated cat and cows. To begin, let's make sure our feet are flat and planted on the ground. You're sitting very tall. Take a big breath in as you move the chest forward, tilt the chin up. As you exhale, tuck the chin in towards your chest, round the back. Hug the belly in. Okay, you're sucking your belly in. Inhale, move the chest forward, chin up. Exhale, tuck the chin in, round the back, belly in. 2 more times. Inhale, chest forward, chin up. Exhale, chin in, round the back, belly in. Last one. Inhale, move the chest forward, chin up. As you exhale, round the back and suck the belly in. There you go. Seated cat and cows. Now let's do a seated back bend. Bring both hands in front of you. As you inhale, bring the hands up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, tilt the head back a little and bring the hands behind your head if you can. Okay? So go only as far as comfortable for you. Don't push it too much if it's going to make you dizzy. And we stay here. Make sure you can still breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And for the next round, I'm just going to do it on the side view, so you can see. Okay, bring the hands in front of you. Inhale, lift the arms up, chin up. As you exhale, tilt the head back a little, bring the hands and elbows behind your head, and only go as far as comfortable. Again, don't push yourself too much if it's going to make you dizzy. Inhale here, and exhale. To release, come up slowly, and bring the hands down. Next, we do eagle arms. Bring your hands out to the side, palms facing down, right over left. Bring the hands in front of you. Bend at the elbows and bring your hands back to back. Or if there's more room for you to twist, bring your hands palm to palm in this way. Lift the elbows up at the level of the shoulders. Take a big breath here. Inhale and exhale. You can stay in this position, but if you feel that you need more of a stretch, especially on the upper back, we're going to take an inhale together. And as we release, we're going to bend down, leading with the hands, curving the upper back, rounding the spine. There you go. Whew. Inhale here and exhale. Inhale, we come up. And exhale, we release the hands. And of course, we're going to do it on the opposite side. Left over, right this time, bend at the elbows. Back to back ang hands or palms facing each other. Lift at the elbows, inhale. As you exhale, let the air out completely. For those of you who'd like to go down, let's do that together. Inhale and exhale, slowly round the back, moving gently so that you'll know where to stop. If you can't breathe anymore, please stop there. We want to be able to breathe in any pose. Inhale here and exhale. Inhale, we come up. And exhale, we release the hands. You can wriggle your hands and arms and bring it down. Next pose is a seated twist on a chair. So bring both arms up. Inhale. As you exhale, turn towards the right side first. Hold the back of the chair. Left hand goes on the outside of your right knee. And then we twist. Inhale here. Exhale, release. Inhale once more. And exhale, release. If you want to go deeper, we're going to take an inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to look over your right shoulder. And sometimes that left hip would want to hike up. You're going to pin it down. Okay, even weight on both sides, on right and left buttocks. You want to pin that hip down so that the stretch will be more efficient. Take a deep breath here. Look over the right side. Inhale and exhale. Excuse my noisy dog. To release, we take a big breath in and exhale, we face forward. Big breath in, lift up. As we exhale, face the left side. Left hand goes to the back of the chair, right hand goes to the outside of the left knee. And we breathe here. Inhale to sit up taller. Exhale to twist a little deeper. And for those of you who'd like to look over your left shoulder, we can do that now. And we twist. And then release. Wide seated forward fold. Bring your feet wider than the hips, legs forming a V position. Bring both arms up on the inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lead with the chest, bringing the chest and arms forward. Stop at the level of the hips. If this feels good for you already, you can stay here. Just bring the hands down and the head down. But for some of us who have more space, we're going to continue coming down. If it won't make you feel dizzy, flop the arms down or you can touch the ground and then dangle your head down. You can nod your head yes and shake your head no in this position. And it actually feels good to release some tension on the neck and head. Imagine your neck has been holding your head up all day long. So this pose will counter the fatigue that your neck is feeling. And to come up, we're going to do it very slowly so you won't get dizzy. You can bring your hands on top of your knees, tuck the chin in towards your chest, and slowly bring your upper body, mid-back, upper back up, and your chin, head coming up last. There you go. You can also do a half forward fold in a chair. Step behind your chair, hands on the back of the chair, and walk your feet as far as is comfortable for you to bring your upper body down, and you are in a sort of an inverted letter L. Bend the knees if that feels good for you to bring both ears at the level of your arms. Okay? And this is also a good way to release any tension from the lower back. For my pregnant women, I usually ask them to do this, but their legs will be wider, and try that also. Wider stance, bent knees, and then you're going to swing your hips side to side. Ooh, and this actually feels good for the hips, for the legs, and especially for the lower back. To come out of the pose, bring your feet in slowly, and remember to come up slowly. Walk your feet forward towards the chair, head comes up last. so you won't get dizzy. Since we're already standing here, let's do a balancing pose. Hold your chair, okay, but move away a little bit so that you won't be really leaning on your chair. And we're going to do tree pose, my favorite standing balance pose, okay? So bring your hand to your hip, bring the sole of your right foot on the ankle, or below the knee, or above the knee, but please never on the knee. It might create some strain on the ligaments there, so it won't be safe. So always above the knee or below the knee, but never on the knee. So for today, I'm going to put my leg below my knee. There you go. And we're going to balance here, hands on the hip. If you want some challenge, go ahead, let go of that chair. Place your hands in front of your chest. Of course, we continue breathing. Inhale. Standing very, very tall, strong standing leg, and exhale. If you want to try reaching your hands up towards the ceiling, let's do that. And exhale. And for those of you who are really, really stable, you can try closing both eyes. There you go. And then bring the hands back to the chest and back to the hips, onto the chair before you bring the leg down. So try to resist coming out of the pose so quickly. Try to get out of the pose as slowly as you came in. Okay, so we're going to transfer the chair to do it onto the opposite side. Hold the chair, move away from the chair a little bit. One hand on the hip, bring the sole of the foot on the ankle, below the knee or on top of the knee, but again, never on the knee. Stand tall in this position. You can bring your hands in front of the chest to balance, but don't worry, the chair is there to help you just in case you get out of balance. If you want to try, reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Hug your belly in. It helps you become stable. And for those of you who'd like to try, go ahead, close your eyes in this position. There you go. And we come out of the pose slowly as we came in, hands to the chest, onto the chair and hip, and we release the legs. There you go. Okay, and then you can again move your hips side to side, bend the knees if you like to release any tension that we've created from the legs. The next few poses that I'm going to teach are going to increase our heart rate up. First is modified chair squats. So we still stand on the back of our chair, move away from the chair, and bring your feet wider than the hips. There you go. We're going to bring our hips down in a squat. Take a big breath here, inhale. As you exhale, bring your hips towards the back and bend at the hips and knees to come down. Okay? One pointer that we want is to make sure that when we come down, the knee is almost above the ankle, not too forward. Okay? This is very unstable. We want the knee to move far back, almost on top of the ankle. There we go. And we stand up. Okay? So if we do this for about 10 counts, I'm sure it's going to bring your heart rate up. So let's try. Maybe just 5 counts for now. Inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Last one. And 5. Modified chair squats. The next pose is a seated heel kick-throughs. Something I learned from my husband, and I know it's quite hard, but it's sure to bring your heart rate up. So we sit again towards the edge of our chair, hold the chair this way, lift the chest up, sit very, very tall, and then we're going to do it first on the left leg, okay? So you're going to take a big inhale. As you exhale, bring the left knee in. There you go. As high as it can go. Bring it to your chest as high as you can. Inhale here And on the exhale, bring the heel, kick it forward. There you go. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale. Whew. Just 3 counts maybe. And then kick it out. And bring it down. Of course, we're going to do it on the other side. Take a big inhale here. Lift the leg. Exhale, kick it through. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, kick it through. Inhale, lift the leg. This is the last one. And exhale, kick it through. And maybe, just a bit of a balance. Challenge to keep it there. And then bring it down. There you go. And to release the tension we created on the hips, you can stand up and then move your hips side to side. Seated heel kick throughs. The next pose to bring the heart rate up is mountain climbers on a chair. To begin, we're going to come onto a plank, stack up the elbows, so elbow over the wrist, shoulders on top of the elbows, and then step back, bring the knee in, chin in, and then down, look forward. Bring the opposite knee in, chin in, bring the foot down, look forward. And we do it alternately, like climbing a mountain, so mountain climbers. And you can even run in this position. All right, and to come out of the pose, slowly come up, because for some of our students, they feel dizzy with this. So please be careful. And then we release, okay? To release again, you can shake the hands because sometimes there's a strain on the wrist, so shake your hands and then shake the hips, if that feels good for you. Mountain climbers on a chair. This next pose is called pedal laughing. Some of you know this already. So we're going to sit on our chair. For this first set, we're going to lean back, hold the chair like so, bring both knees in. Yes, and then we're going to do bicycle movements with our chair. Yes, and if you'd like to recruit some other people to join in on the fun, because we're supposed to laugh in this position, you can ask your other family members or whoever is with you right now to do this with you. Pedal laughing. I hope you're still breathing. Whew, there you go. And for this next set, I'd like you to move away from the back of the chair. Okay, so we're not going to lean back, but bring both knees in again. And then I'm not leaning back, I'm off the backrest. Go ahead and pedal your feet. And if you can, laugh your way through the burning in your thighs. Whew, there you go. And for some of us, no hands. Yes. And release. Whew. There you go. You can stand up slowly and then swing your hips side to side. And to counter the strain that we created in front of our hips, we're going to do dancer pose. Okay, so we're going to stand behind the chair, grab your right ankle with your right hand. Okay, ooh, and that feels good, the stretch in front of our hips and thighs. Take a big breath here, inhale. You can flex the right ankle in here and inhale. As you exhale, let the air out. Whew, and if you did it with me, I'm sure your hearts are beating fast already. There you go. Inhale. And for those of you who'd like to have a deeper stretch, we're going to lean forward as we bring the heel up, leg up behind us. Make sure the hips are facing forward, not opening up. This is very unstable. So you're going to bring both hips to face the ground or to face the chair. You can have a small bend on the standing leg to keep your dancer pose more stable. And we release, come up slowly. Exhale, bring the leg down. There you go. We do it on the other side. Hold the back of your leg, left ankle. There you go. And flex up the left ankle. Inhale here. As you exhale, move forward if you like, or you can just remain standing up. That's also a good option. Keep a bend on the right knee if that feels good for you. Hips facing forward. And inhale, come up. And release. Whew. Okay, and this next pose is actually a feel-good pose also after a day's work. But I'm going to do it right now as a cool down for the poses that brought our heart rate up. So we're going to move into a one-legged chair. Chair pose, all right? So right ankle on top of the left knee. There you go. Hands on top of the leg. Inhale here. Bring the chest up. As you exhale, leading with the chest, bring your chest forward. It's not the head coming down. It's the chest coming forward. And have that action of trying to push your right knee downwards towards the floor to feel a bigger stretch, a deeper stretch on the right hip and thigh. And keep on bringing the chest down as far as is comfortable for you. Inhale here. And exhale. Lift the chest up. And exhale, release the leg. We do it on the other side. Inhale. Left ankle on top of the right knee. Sit up tall. Hands on the leg. Inhale. As you exhale, lead with the chest moving forward. That left knee wants to point down towards the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come up. And exhale. Release the leg. The next few poses are restorative yoga poses. And we're going to let go of the chair and replace them with some pillows. Okay, so if you don't have a yoga bolster, like this gray friend I have over here, you can use any pillow, a throw pillow, or better yet, the big pillows that you have in your bedroom. Those will work fine also. Okay, so to begin, we're going to bring our feet in butterfly position, soles facing each other, and we're just going to lift the knees up and down, flapping them like a butterfly. Okay, and this will relax the legs. Okay, getting us ready to come to other restorative yoga poses. Don't forget your breath. Inhale here. And exhale. The next pose is a supine belly twist. Okay, so we're going to move aside our bolsters for now. Okay, let's lie down on our backs. Bring the hands out to a T, palms facing up. Bring the knees up and on top of your chest, like so, or on top of your belly. And we can begin by moving the knees side to side, getting acquainted with the sensation of lying down with the knees bent. Take a big breath here. Inhale. And exhale. On the next breath, we stop at the center. Inhale. As you exhale, bring both knees towards the right side. There you go. Ooh, and there's a bit of a crack in my spine. My back saying pop, pop, pop. Okay, and as you lie here, if your knees doesn't reach the floor, that's okay. You can just put a pillow under and make sure that it's comfortable for you. Okay, so it's okay to have the knees a little bit high with a pillow there. Okay, and if there's more space for your upper back and your neck, you're going to take a big inhale. And as you exhale, you turn your head away from your knees, looking at the opposite hand. Oh. And for some of us, this will actually feel really, really good. Inhale here. Exhale. On the next inhale, we bring the head back to center, knees back to center, and again, bring the knees side to side, and we'll do it on the opposite side. Stop at the center, inhale. As you exhale, both knees go to the opposite side, left side this time. Inhale here, and exhale. And if you like, go ahead and look over your right shoulder to your right hand. And you can actually close your eyes in this position. You're cooling down, you're resting already. And sometimes I do this pose before sleeping. There you go. Inhale, bring both knees back to center, head goes towards the center. Wrap your arms around your knees if you like, and then roll from side to side. And because we can't have a massage therapist coming over our houses at this time, this is a good way to give ourselves a back massage. Sariling sikap. Okay. There you go. Release the hands and the feet. And we go on to our next pose, which is a prone twist on a bolster. So at this time, we're going to need a yoga block. If you don't have one, you can just use any big book, Nelson's maybe, and your big pillow. Place it on top of the bolster, and you're going to bring your hips, your thighs as close as you can to the bolster. Take a big breath here. Inhale. Okay, and then make sure that both knees, both feet are going to the same direction. Okay, so we're doing this. Inhale here. And as we exhale, both hands go to the opposite sides of the bolster. And we're going to lead with our belly coming down, chest down. And then we rest our right cheek onto the bolster. You can continue closing your eyes. Just listen to my instructions. Okay, and we're settling down here. If there's more space in our body, okay, we're going to bring the top leg to the back, okay, and the knees will be in a right angle position, and the head will go look at the opposite direction like so. And this brings us to a deeper twist. Inhale here, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. To come out of the pose, move slowly. Bring the head back in, knees back in. Push yourself up. And then we do it on the opposite side. So you just have to move your props to the opposite side. Bolster on top of the block. Bring both legs in the same direction, away from the bolster. Okay? Take a big inhale as you lift up first. Hands down onto the floor. Belly lies on the pillow, then chest, then the cheek. Okay, and you can close your eyes again here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, and if you want, if you have more space in your body to do so, bring that top leg behind you, okay, so that our legs and knees will be in right angles, and you can lift the head, turn the head to the opposite direction, rest the opposite cheek onto the bolster. But if it doesn't feel good for you, go ahead and just stay on the previous pose. In an actual yoga class for restoratives, we stay in one pose for about 3 to 5 minutes. Some of us fall asleep in that pose, and that's okay. If you fall asleep here, I hope somebody will press pause for you, and you'll just continue when you wake up. And you stay here. To come out of the pose, lift up, push yourself up, bring your top leg in, and we release. The next pose is legs up the wall pose, but if you don't have a wall, a chair will do. Okay, so instead of using the wall. For now, I'll just use the chair again. So we're going to lie down onto our backs, bring our feet up on the chair, okay? And you can sprawl your knees as wide as is comfortable for you. Bring your hands out to the sides, and you can rest here. If it makes you feel dizzy to have your head flat on the floor, go ahead and grab a pillow. Put your head on top of the pillow. I think most of you would have done this already because this really feels good for our legs. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale and exhale. And to come out of the pose, do it slowly. Come to a fetal position first. Stay there for a little while before you push yourself up back to a seated position. The last pose is what we call a constructive rest. This constructive rest, you can do it lying down with a pillow or without, your choice. But the idea here is to release the lower back by bringing our feet in, knees bent, feet wider than the hips, and knees knocked towards each other. Okay? So this is a good pose to release the lower back. If it feels good for you to actually sprawl the legs forward and down, you can do that. Bring the hands out as well, palms facing up. And you can lie down and sleep in this pose. But I'd like to share with you one of my favorites, which is a modified version that I usually allow my pregnant women to go into before they reach the third trimester, when they can still lie safely on their backs. So you can bring the block and the bolster again, and then bring your hips, bring your buttocks as close as you can to the bolster, and then begin lowering the back down with your head going last. If it's too low for you, go ahead, grab that pillow of yours and then put it over your head. Oh, this feels good for me. So it's case-to-case basis. It depends on the level of comfort that you have for your practice. Okay, bring both feet wider than the hips and then knock your knees together. Bring the hands out to the sides, palms facing up. Okay, you can squeeze your shoulder blades in together to lift the chest. Oh, and this is really a good way to counter the action of slouching. If you've been in front of your computer for a very, very long time, and this is a nice pose to relax in. Of course, we let our breath go back to the balloon breath or the take 5 breath that we learned earlier in this class. Inhale and exhale. And you can stay in this pose for as long as you like, for as long as comfortable for you. To get out of the pose, bring the feet in towards each other. Bring both knees towards one side. So usually we ask our students to bring it onto their right side. They say so it's better because the left part of the body is the one on top where the heart is. Okay, and then roll off the bolsters gently. Stay in fetal position for a while. Push yourself up. Come back to a seated position. Okay, you can even sit on a pillow, if that's more comfortable for you. And that's how we end the class. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope you learned something useful that you can use in your everyday life.
So thank you very much for joining the yoga class. I hope you all feel much better, na-release yung tension sa body and even the mind. But I noticed na hindi pala nasali yata yung breathing exercise nung nag-play, no? But that's okay. We will just upload the breathing exercise video. Ang importante is the poses. I hope you were able to follow. Sana okay yung internet connection ninyo. From our technical team's end, it was playing okay daw. But I think my downloading speed was quite slow. So parang hindi nagmamatch yung audio sa video. But I hope you were still able to follow. The idea there is to just listen to the instruction. You don't really have to watch your yoga teacher. So this goes also for future yoga classes that you will attend. Some teachers actually don't demonstrate. They just talk, and you're supposed to translate their instructions into your own body movement. So dapat alam nyo right and left, nasan yung shin, nasan yung ankle and all that. Pero memorize nyo rin yun in the future as you keep on doing yoga. So I hope you are all able to enjoy that. And if you want to follow more yoga sequences in a very, very easy way, let me share this, Doc Cindy. We have a super easy way of following and remembering yoga poses by checking out the ebook of our yoga storybook. So I hope you can check this out. But adults, of course, can do this. And with that, thank you again, everyone, for joining me this evening. Thank you to my colleagues from PPS NCM for allowing me to share yoga. I hope maulit-uli. Thank you, thank you.
So a big thank you to you, Rice, because that really released the tension from my back and my shoulders where my stress usually accumulates. And thank you also for the gift of the video that we can access anytime. I think I'm really gonna access it twice a week at least. So thank you for that.
Sige, sige.
So at this point,
Welcome.
I would like to call on the chair of our CPD committee, Dr. Maria Therese Habay, to present our certificate of appreciation to our speaker, Dr. Chris Maria Raissa Paje-Bayawa. Dr. Habay?
Yes, Sin, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening. The Philippine Pediatric Society North Central Mindanao Chapter presents this certificate of appreciation to Chris Maria Raissa Paje-Bayawa for sharing her invaluable knowledge and expertise as speaker in the continuing professional development course entitled Stretch Out the Stress, given this 8th day of October 2020 in Cagayan de Oro City, signed by Amelita Maria A. Hamoy, President of PPS NCM, Cindy Canseco Liego, Secretary, and yours truly as the CPD Chairman Committee. Thank you so much, Rai.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Dr. Reese.
you're welcome. I would also like to read this certificate of appreciation to given to Dr. Cindy Canseco Liego for sharing her invaluable time and skill as moderator in the CPD course entitled Stretch Out the Stress, given this 8th day of October, signed by Dr. Amelita Hamoy, Dr. Cindy Liego, and yours truly. Thank you so much, Cindy.
Okay, you're welcome, Doc.
Thank you, Doc Cindy.
And some more announcements from Dr. Habay.
Okay, good evening again. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who participated. I'm sure we did not realize it, but everyone needed that movement activity that we just had. That was a very relaxing and enjoyable one. Hope that we will be able to access the video that Raisa has generously given and prepared for all of us. That is one video that would help us release the stress during this pandemic time. Thank you also, Cindy, again for that very uh, uh, different kind of hosting. It's like a talk show
Miss
that you
Universe
just met
question.
a while ago with Raisa. I'm hoping that we will having more of that in the coming webinars so that there the mood would be just something that everyone would relax and enjoy. Okay. My appreciation still goes to Natra Farm, our partner for this webinar, for all their hard work. And then for additional announcement, please join us again this 14th day of October as we will have another webinar. And this is a lecture by no less than the most honorable representative from Mindanao and one of CDO's finest, Dr. Dennis James Absin. And he will talk on nutritional supplements for children and adolescents. So until then, I bid you goodbye and then stay safe until we meet again. Good night,
If
everyone.
they have any
Right.
questions pala, Doc, if they have any questions, they can just message me on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much once again
Thank
to
you.
Dr.
Thank you.
Bayawa
Good
for her
night.
time today, Dr. Habay for the announcements. And we would like again to announce that the to earn your certificate for your attendance for tonight's webinar, please access the links that will be posted in the chat box. And they are already posted in the chat box right now. Thank you very much and good night, everyone. Stay safe.